All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and we're going to get right to this topic. So obviously the EP files or the Estein files have been released, and these are what the files look like. It says right here, the Estein files are heavily redacted, obviously. And now I think this is just a little bit. I believe there was about 50 pages.
It's completely redacted. For the most part, the first 50 pages, this one's not readable.
Alright, so the first 50 pages. Alright. So like I said, obviously Esau's not going to tell you what he did in the dark, right? It says right here. Right. It says in Proverbs chapter 15 verse 3, the eyes of the Lord are everywhere, keeping watch on the wicked and the good. So even though Esau believes he's hidden his wickedness, what he doesn't know is that the eyes of the Lord, the eyes of Yahweh, are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Right? 10, as it says right here. Let's get this out. It says Ecclesiasticus chapter 23 verse 19. Such a man only feareth the eyes of man, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts. So Esau thinks, with all his technology, with him hiding with his investigations and stuff like that, that he's going to be able to hide his wickedness away from the world. But that's just not the case, right? Of course, Esau may hide his wickedness from the world, but Esau cannot hide his wickedness from Yahweh, right? For the schemes of Esau are bright daylight in the eyes of Yahweh, right? So now the thing is, a lot of people were kind of being, I don't want to say stupid, but a lot of people were acting very ignorant, thinking that the Epstein files were actually going to be released, with them showing that these elites did something. Obviously, the elites are not going to show you what they did. And I don't know why people expected the elites who are in control of the release of the Epstein files to show what they did in the Epstein files. What sense does that make? Right? So I don't know why a lot of people believe that the elites were going to show the wickedness they did. Obviously they obviously they weren't. And obviously the elites did show the wickedness. Of course the elites, the page is going to look like this, blacked out, everything redacted, right? So the elites obviously was never going to show what they did, and I don't know why people thought they did. I already knew. I knew for a fact that the elites weren't going to show the wickedness that they did. I knew that the Epstein, we gotta be careful since YouTube. I knew that the Estein files were either not going to be released, or the gravy information was going to be darkened, like this. And this isn't just with the Estein files. You see, Esau has a way of doing things, right? So, for instance, with the CV, right? The CV shots, their ingredients won't be released until, I think, 50 years later, until 40 years later, right? So Esau will either put things behind a time wall, right? Or he'll just show the redactor stuff. And on top of that, to the people watching this video, let's say the elites did show the wickedness they've done in the Estein files. What were you going to do about it? Seriously, what were you going to do about it? Let's say there is not a single thing redacted in the Estein files. What in the world were you going to do? Nothing. You were going to do nothing. So it's really no difference that it was redacted in the first place, because you still wouldn't have done anything. Right? So, let's get out of scripture right here. It says Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Right, so you got a lot of people thinking, and we know that the enemy is Esau Edom, but in this case, we have a lot of people, you had a lot of people thinking Trump was a good guy. Right? But throughout this presidency, we have really seen his wickedness rusting. We have seen he is just like every other puppet president. There is no difference between these presidents, brethren. None of these presidents have your Slovakia. None of these presidents have your your best interest at heart, right? None of these presidents care about. Esau doesn't even care about his own people, so he definitely doesn't care about us, the Israelites, and he definitely doesn't care about anything else in this world, right? So that's really what I got to say about these Epstein files, right? Let's see. Epstein files redacted. Right. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. These were how it was only gonna be. This was how it was always gonna be with these elites. Alright, so look, you're not gonna get transparency from these devils. You're not gonna get truth from these devils. You're not gonna get honesty from these devils. You're not gonna get anything good from these devils. Alright, Esau Edom is the wicked. Alright, and even if he did show his wickedness, he's not gonna care. Right? I mean, flipping, they're bombing Palestine right now. Right? Esau's legit giving money to Esau's giving money to Israel to destroy the people in Gaza. So if Esau is destroying the people in Gaza and committing mass murder in Gaza, what in the world do you think is gonna? How in the world do you think the Epstein files are gonna be any different? I'm telling you, man. Sometimes the American citizen is so ignorant, man. But anyways, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Hope this lesson is edifying to the elect and hopeful elect, and Shalom.